going on, everybody? Welcome back to another LEGO YouTube video. Today I thought it would be a fun idea to kind of go through most of the summer 2024 LEGO sets, and by most I just mean the ones that I am most excited for and kind of ranking them from least to most excited. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it. This is going to include mostly sets from the Marvel, DC, and Star Wars theme, with the LEGO Icon sets also being included, and also a few LEGO Ideas sets, and then also one LEGO Minecraft set. I didn't include all of them because there's just way too many, and I'm not huge into the LEGO Minecraft theme, but there was definitely one set that I thought was worth mentioning and putting on this list that I really want to get. So let's just go ahead and get into my least favorite that made the list, and that is the LEGO Batman mech. And I feel like the LEGO Batman mech, it was really just an unnecessary set. I can definitely see why they made it, because it's Batman, he's a popular character, and it's a cheap way to get the set. But coming from somebody who mainly buys the mech sets for the minifigures, if even that, this one just has a very lackluster minifigure that we've seen in a million other sets before, and even if the minifigure is slightly exclusive, I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't really look that great to like justify spending $15 on the mech. And the mech, albeit, just looks very simplified, and it's not one of the more unique mechs that they have ever released. And honestly, I don't like a single mech set, period. So I'm really just trying to find like the good and the very bad here, and I just can't really find much good that I enjoy. I guess the battering is kind of cool and the printed elements, but really just not my cup of tea. And next up on the list is the Luke Skywalker's X-Wing mech, and why this set exists, I am not entirely sure. Why Star Wars mechs even exist, period, I don't really know. But what I like about this one, the minifigure is at least cooler, although he is not, I don't think he's exclusive, and it's also very similar to other Pilot Luke Skywalker minifigures that we've gotten in the past, but it's a very unique design, so I'll give them that. I think the kind of X-Wing in the back is really funny, so I do like that a bit. I could see myself buying this set if it was like on sale for a super low price, but it's just not the most exciting set out there. But I get it, cheap way to get the Luke Skywalker minifigure for like maybe the younger audience, so I see its purpose. And then next up is the Iron Man and Iron Legion battle pack, and when I initially heard about this from like LEGO leaks and just various rumors, I was really excited for it, but honestly, seeing the final product, I'm a bit disappointed. The build for it is definitely not the like main attraction here, but it's pretty cool. It's got some nice details here and there, some flick missiles, and I see what they're trying to do, and it's a nice build altogether. But I feel like a lot of my disappointment with this set just comes with the minifigures, and more specifically with the Iron Legion. I feel like they really just dropped the ball with the helmets. I don't like the look of them at all. I think they easily could have just used the newer Iron Man helmet that they used for the Iron Man minifigure in this set, so that really weighs it down to me, because that's a big part as to why I would want this set, are the Iron Legion minifigures, and the fact that the minifigures are kind of lackluster really weighs this set down for me. And next up on the list, we have another battle pack. I don't really have anything wrong with this battle pack. It's the Ambush on Mandalore set, and I really like the minifigure selection inside of this. The Mandalorians are really cool, and I also really like the kind of Imperial troopers too. I don't really remember their specific names. It's been a while since I've seen Mando Season 3, because it was kind of forgettable, so, and I'll die on that hill, just very forgettable season. But anyway, not the point of this video. The build that you get is pretty cool. There's some play features on it too, as well as some clips to kind of place your like weapons included, and I like the play features that they include too. Lots of posability with the set too, which is good for a battle pack, and also the minifigure selection also is pretty cool too. Just not the craziest battle pack that we've gotten recently, but definitely worth the pickup, and I feel like if it were on sale, definitely would add this to the LEGO collection. So nothing really wrong with this set at all. Just the other sets in the summer wave are a lot better. This one just kind of sits in the middle. And next up we have the Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon duel, and this was actually one of the best scenes from Mando Season 3, so I think the set actually looks pretty cool. I think it would have been a lot better as a diorama, but I can definitely see why they went this route, just to kind of keep it at that cheaper price point, as Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon are both very popular characters from The Mandalorian, so I can see why they kind of priced it lower so that it's more affordable for the younger LEGO audience. And honestly, I really like it. I like the Praetorian Guards included too, and the actual build is definitely a bit simplified, not the craziest thing to look at, but I like the sticker pieces, and the door also looks pretty cool. I like how they were able to accomplish the little window, and I like the rock pieces that they also include, and there's a nice little turret towards the top too, and I definitely consider picking this one up, so I honestly might, because it doesn't really take up that much space, and the minifigure selection's so good. All new minifigures, except for the Paz Vizsla, which is reused from the Armor's Mandalorian Forge, but nothing wrong with the older figure, so I can see why they re-released it. And then next up on the list is the Thor versus Surtur construction figure, and I love that they're continuing to kind of make sets based off of some of the older MCU saga films, because a lot of those are way better than the newer stuff we're getting. So it's nice that they're not forgetting about the previous MCU movies, and I like that they're kind of like remaking sets and making new concepts like this one. And this is one of the few instances where I feel like the buildable figure model for Lego really works here. I don't really like a lot of the buildable figures that they do, but it really works for Surtur. It makes sense, and I think they did a really good job translating him into Lego. I love all of the trans red and the trans orange pieces that they use, and I can't tell if they're stickers or prints, but albeit even if it's a sticker, I still feel like it looks like a really good set and won't weigh the set down too much. I also really like the Thor minifigure that's included, and you can see there's a lot of posability too. I love that they're including those transparent panels in more and more Marvel sets, and it's a great set, and I definitely would consider picking it up. And then next up on the list is the Avengers versus the Leviathan, and the reason why this is so low on the list is because it's just not very unique. I get why this set exists. It's a more affordable way to get all of the Avengers and the Leviathan that comes in the Avengers Tower. It's way more accessible. I think it's like $60 or $70 than the $500 Leviathan that comes in the Avengers Tower. So I get why this set exists. Just being an owner of the Avengers Tower, I don't really see much of a point to add this to the Lego collection. The Hulk figure is cool, but I think he also comes out in the Age of Ultron set, so I'll definitely be passing up on this one, but it's a detailed model, and I'm glad that they made it more accessible for everybody. And then next up on the list is the Batman construction figure and the Batpod. And I really like the Batpod. Not so much a fan of the Batman figure. I feel like I could have done without that. If they just released the Batpod, I definitely would have picked this set up to add with my Dark Knight trilogy display, because I think this set will pair really well with the Dark Knight tumbler and the Dark Knight kind of like minifigure scale tumbler that they released a few years back. So I would love to add it to the collection just for that, but I feel like the Batman construction figure really drives up the price of it a lot, and it doesn't look like a bad figure. I just don't really like the construction figures, and I feel like this is just one of those instances where it just doesn't really work. I feel like it's Lego just trying to be something it's not, which is like an action figure. Like if you want an action figure, just buy an action figure, but that's a whole other debate for another day. And next up on the list is the Bumblebee set, and I feel like this is a bit more of a hot take, and I'll probably get some hate for this, but I don't really care because it's my list, so if you disagree, make your own list. But the Bumblebee figure, it's cool. I really like the transformation gimmick that they've got for it. I feel like that's a really unique concept that they're able to replicate, but I've just never been the biggest fan of Transformers. I watched the show growing up, but as an adult, I'm just not the biggest Transformers fan, and honestly, I don't really like the look of the Bumblebee one compared to Optimus Prime. I feel like the face looks kind of weird, but I think that's accurate to what he looks like though. So probably a lot of my hate for the set isn't really warranted. But anyway, moving on, we have the Avengers Age of Ultron Avengers Assemble set or something like that. I forgot the exact name of it, but I really like this set. The Avengers Assemble Age of Ultron is the actual set name. It's kind of a mix of the dioramas that we saw last year for the LEGO Marvel summer releases, also kind of like mixed in with a lot of elements of a play set. So I think it's nice to have a cool little blend between the two, so you're able to satisfy both crowds, both the display LEGO fans and the kids who are trying to have a LEGO set to play with. There's a lot going on. You get the Captain America motorcycle as well as the little Jeep too, and you get the full cast of Avengers in this set too, so how could you not like it? And then next up is the Captain Rex Y-Wing Microfighter. A lot of people hate this set because the Rex it used to be exclusive to the Venator, but honestly, being a Venator owner, I'm really happy that they made the figure more accessible. Why gatekeep such a popular character? So who cares if he's in a, $12 set? And the Y-Wing also looks pretty cool too, so it's a nice replacement Rex if your one from the Venator gets damaged too. So I like this set, and it's not the craziest set, but just the fact that there's an affordable Rex now, I feel like gives it a lot of points. And then next up on the list is the Batman with the Batmobile versus Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze. I'm a huge fan of Batman the Animated Series. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and it's actually my favorite iteration of Batman, and I love that we're getting more sets based around it. I hope what this is one of many to come, but I really like this set. I love the display plaque, and the Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze minifigures also look really great inside of this set too, and the Batmobile looks really sleek, and I think they did a great job designing it, and I really want to add this to the collection, as well as the Gotham City skyline, but we'll see if I actually end up purchasing that or not. And then next up on the list is probably one of my favorite Star Wars sets that they released, but I don't really know if I'll get it just because of the price tag. It's the Imperial Star Destroyer, and having missed out on the UCS Star Destroyer, I'm really happy that they decided to remake one, but in more of a minifigure scale, so I can actually have space for it and afford it. So very happy with this set. I feel like it looks really sleek. at least on the pictures. I don't know what it looks like in person. I'm sure it'll look a lot different, but I really like the design. There's not a lot of like gaps or anything. I think it's got a good mix of tiles and plate elements showing. The back of the destroyer also looks really good too, and I love the thrusters that you can see, and it easily opens up to feature a very small interior, but it is there, so I feel like just points for that. Even if it's not the coolest interior, at least it's there. And the one other thing that I don't really like about this set is the minifigure selection. I feel like the Cal Kestis figure really saves this set, and he's not even like really in the set. He's just kind of like extra, if that makes any sense. But anyway, the next pick on the list, another Groot. I feel like we've gone several years with getting a Groot for every single summer release, which is kind of weird, but this one's actually pretty cool. It makes me regret buying the I Am Groot set because I feel like I like this one a little bit more, and part of that is just because it's way more expressive, I feel like, and it just looks a lot more funny to me. I love all the expressions that he has, and the sunglasses are really funny, as well as the headphones too. I think this one is just way more of a vibe than the other ones are. It looks way less creepy. I love the flower pot and the Guardians of the Galaxy piece that we see down there, and I might pick this one up despite already having the I Am Groot set. I feel like it's a really cool looking set. I'm actually really happy with it, and I didn't really think I'd like it. And then speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, the next set is the Milano, and this makes me regret getting the Beneddar, but why not have both? I don't have space for them, but maybe I'll buy this set and just like keep it sealed and wait for a rainy day where I do have enough space. But really impressive looking set. I love the display stand they include too, and the minifigure selection's also great too. We finally get another Drax figure, and I love the sticker pieces included too that say the Milano, and it's just got such a good color scheme too, and it looks very, very similar to the Beneddar. Actually, fun fact, I thought the Beneddar and the Milano were the same ship up until a couple of years ago. I feel like everybody did, or at least a vast majority of people, or maybe that was just me. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if that's just me. But pretty cool set. You can see like it's got a small interior included too, which is nice, but it's just so similar to the Beneddar that like I don't really know if I should get it or not. I'm kind of happy with the Beneddar, but this is cool because it's new, so I feel like it's got that recency bias. But great set, and I can definitely see a lot of people wanting to pick this up, so probably the best out of the Marvel sets. And next up is the Lamborghini, and I'm not the biggest car fan. Honestly, I probably would not pick this one up, but I feel like I can still appreciate all of the detail inside of this, even if it isn't like my specific cup of tea. I still feel like the detail's there, and I can see why a lot of people are really excited for this set. It's got lots of posability, lots of play features, and it looks impressive too, just not my ideal LEGO set. And I'd say the same goes for the NASA Artemis shuttle. I feel like having this set super low on the list really wouldn't be fair. It's a really beautiful set, and while I probably won't get it, I can still appreciate all of the detail inside of it, and I can see why it's so popular too. It's one of the biggest releases for the entire summer wave of LEGO Icon sets, and I really like the look of it. Even though I probably won't buy it, I still think it's an impressive set, so definitely worth being higher up on the list, even if I'll never own it. And then one of the next sets is one that I actually would buy. It's the Tuxedo Cat. I think this is a really funny set. I was not really expecting LEGO to make something like this, so I'm really happy that this submission for LEGO Ideas won. I think it's really funny, and it actually doesn't look too creepy. I thought it would look kind of creepy. I feel like anytime LEGO tries to replicate any real-life thing in this scale, it turns out looking really weird, but that's not the case for this, and it's got a lot of posability. I love the shape of it too. Lots of like unique elements that they kind of use to shape the Tuxedo Cat, and I'm curious to see how it would look compared to like an actual cat. They also give you, what's really cool, different eyes too, so you can like change the eye color, which is funny too, and you can kind of like swivel its head around too. So great display piece. I really want to get this one in my LEGO collection just to see how my cat would react to it. I feel like that would just be funny and worth it in itself. But great set, and I feel like this is going to be one of the most popular ones of the summer wave. And then next up is the Milky Way Galaxy art set, and upon its original reveal, I wasn't really excited about this set, and it doesn't really look that fun to build because it's just a bunch of random elements thrown in there, and I think that's why a lot of people didn't like it, because it looked like a nightmare to build, and it probably is. But as a display piece, I think it still looks really impressive from a distance, and then just like up close, seeing all of the different elements that make up the kind of like sculpture, or not really sculpture, I guess more of a mosaic. I feel like that would be really fun, even if building it wouldn't be the best thing to do. I feel like I could still admire this set a lot, and it's really unique too, and I love the LEGO art sets that are more 3D, so I think this one's definitely worth picking up, and honestly my underrated favorite, I would say. And next up is the LEGO Minecraft crafting table. This is the only Minecraft set on the list. I don't usually go for a lot of the Minecraft sets, but I feel like this one's really cool, kind of having this like life-size LEGO crafting table, and they could have just left it at that, and a lot of people probably would have bought it, myself included. But I think it's really cool how they include the biomes inside of it too, and it really reminds me of like those original LEGO Minecraft sets from way back in the day, like 2013, when they were still booting up the theme under LEGO Kazoo. But really unique looking set. I really like it and will probably be picking it up. It'll be the first LEGO Minecraft set I think I've bought in years, since 2014 actually. So I'm actually really looking forward to this one. So hopefully it's as good as it looks. And at the number 2 spot, I have the LEGO Lord of the Rings Barad door. I am not a Lord of the Rings fan, so I know I definitely butchered that name, so I do apologize about that. But having not being a Lord of the Rings fan, I'm probably not going to pick this set up. But it's such a beautiful set that I feel like I can still appreciate it, even though I have never seen or read the Lord of the Rings books. But it looks really impressive. I love the Eye of Sauron at the very top. I think it's a really impressive set. You can kind of see it towering over Rivendell, and this is just a LEGO set that I feel like catches your eye, and how could it not be at the, honestly, probably a lot of you would argue at the number 1 spot, and if I were a bigger Lord of the Rings fan, I would probably agree with you, but it is not my favorite out of the entire summer releases, and this is my opinion. I feel like if I was a Lord of the Rings fan, in a heartbeat, I would move this to the number 1 spot, but I'm just not yet, at least. I am considering watching the movies. I've heard they're really good. I'm just too lazy to actually get the ball rolling on that. So maybe on a rainy day, we'll finally see those. But anyway, my favorite of the summer releases has to be the retro radio. I love this set and I really want to pick it up, and probably will. This is probably going to be like, this and the crafting table are probably the only 2 that I'll actually pick up from the entire list. Maybe a few others, but we'll see. I'm trying to save money right now, but I really like the retro radio. I love the color scheme of it too, and the sound brick gimmick's really funny, where you can kind of play some actual sounds on it. But also what you can do too, what's really cool, is you can actually stick your phone inside of it and like kind of give this illusion that the radio actually works, which I think is funny. But even without that though, it's just a fun display piece, I think, and I think it'll go really well with my T2 camper van and my Beatles Lego set. So I really want to get it for that, because it fits into the Lego collection really well, and it's just a really impressive looking set. It's a nice gimmick. It's a bit overpriced because you could buy an actual radio cheaper, but I mean, it's Lego, you build it, it looks cool. But that's my list. Those are all of the sets that I decided to include here. I know I didn't include any Ninjago or like a bunch of other Lego summer sets that like released, but I didn't want this video to be like an hour long. So that's my list. Definitely let me know what you thought of the video and the ranking down in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you are new around here. But that is all for today. Peace out. Bye.